Hello and welcome to the Ignoramus Abuse TV channel. What you see on the screen here is the Northampton office of Ingeus UK Limited, a private company to whom the Department for Work and Pensions outsources what it calls the Work Programme. The Work Programme is a hugely expensive government initiative which was formulated with the intention of helping people get back to work. It has proven to be, not to put too fine a point on it, a hugely expensive failure for which the British taxpayer is paying the exorbitant price. The provision of support to the unemployed is something which can only be done effectively by the Department for Work and Pensions. This government department may be a long way from being perfect, but it does have the infrastructure in place to be able to satisfy its role. The outsourcing of this work to private companies who are totally unable and totally ill-equipped to do this work is the worst mistake this country has made since the transportation infrastructure was decimated in the 1950s and 1960s. Of course, the decimation of the infrastructure has affected literally everyone in Great Britain, whereas the outsourcing of work-related support only affects a small percentage. However, those that are affected very deeply. I should know because I had to go through it. I was sent into this building by the Department for Work and Pensions with the idea that I would receive 2 years of a programme designed to get me back to work. It turned out to be a total waste of time and money, as I was provided with no appropriate support whatsoever, and in fact never received a single appointment with an appropriately trained advisor, despite multiple promises to the contrary. However, there is a far more sinister side to what goes on at Ingeus UK Limited. Giving a private company the frightening degree of power which this one has can only lead to that power being abused. There are bound to be employees, even at management level, who seek to amuse themselves by causing serious harm to innocent people, in the full and certain knowledge that those people have no choice but to deal with the abusers, unless they want to go hungry and starve. I do want to stress that there are decent people working at ground level in this organisation. There are advisors who do genuinely want to see the people they work with succeed and move into a better life. Had I been referred to one, as had been explicitly promised, my own experience could have been totally different. Instead, I was prevented from receiving appropriate support, lied to, lied about, humiliated and ritually abused over a period of several months, until I was no longer even able to remain on the programme. It's now 2.5 years since I was intimidated into signing off benefits and leaving, and I've had to exist on £20 a week less than an unemployed person ever since that time. No, the real problem at Ingeus UK Limited is not the advisors. The problem is the management, which is not only completely incapable of doing its job, it is also populated with bloodthirsty, sadistic, malevolent thugs who will always take the action which they know is going to cause the highest possible degree of anguish and distress to the victim. The complaints procedure is nothing more than a sham. It is a means by which so-called troublemakers flag themselves for further attention from those at management level, who will then do everything they can to worsen the victim's plight. I know from personal experience. I went through it. Ingeus UK Limited is rotten and diseased to the core, right up to the Chief Executive's office. Since I was forced to take my case into the courts in an attempt to gain some form of reparation for the way I was maltreated in this office, I have even become a victim of a serious criminal offence. This offence, which I will detail and prove in the next video, was perpetrated by a lawyer working in the Chief Executive's office, in conjunction with a spiteful and deceitful junior staff member from this office. My case is now in the county court, and Ingeus UK Limited has already wasted tens of thousands of pounds on lawyers and expensive barristers for the sole purpose of continuing to destroy an innocent person's life. Of course, I have to do all of my own legal research in a public library, on an old laptop, and I have to act as my own solicitor and barrister. All I ever wanted was to be referred to an appropriate advisor and provided with the work programme. In addition to bringing attention to my own sickening plight, I hope to be able to help other people who are facing similar maltreatment on an Ingeus UK work programme avoid some of the indignity to which I've been subjected. No human being should ever have to go through the type of experiences which I have had to endure just because they don't currently have work. Remember, anyone who is employed is one step from being unemployed. One day it may be you who gets sent into an office like this one. And would you like to have your life torn down and destroyed just because some thug thinks it is fun? No, the bullying and ritual abuse of the unemployed is not just their problem. It is potentially everyone's problem. And even if you never become unemployed, it is still your tax money which ultimately funds the atrocities which are being carried out in buildings such as this. The only reason evil people win in this world is because the good ones do nothing. There are more of us than there are of them. I have no idea where this channel and this project will lead. But what I do know is that I will fight the scum who have sadistically destroyed my life for as long as I have one breath left in my body. Unemployed people are human beings and must be treated like human beings. Visit the link in the description for more information. Andrew Wardle, Ignoramus Abuse TV.